Muslims constitute 30% of population of the north.
Yes.
But not a single MP,
Yes.
women or male,
So
not more
the
than one. Only one was elected to the parliament.
sir, our constituency is Nagina.
Who is
It's
the present?
Dr. Satyavir,
Acha.
the representative.
No, I am
Actually,
talking about the Muslim community.
yes, sir. My constituency, Lok Sabha constituency is Nagina. There, the Muslim population is some 43%, but it's a reserve constituency because 23% SCs
Reserved
are there for scheduled caste.
Full caste.
So there is a debate that so much representation of Muslims is there, but still because of reservation.
There was a demand to increase the representation of women in parliament to 30%. It was not agreed to by a number of political parties. Why? What blocked this decision?
Sir, I'll say the patriarchy which is there. Patriarchy, I'll say, the main reason
Patriarchy.
is the power structures which are there, they're mostly in the hands of male. They don't want to give up their power. So it is facing hurdles in the parliament. And also in local panchayats, they have given reservation. But many are
So
saying
it has
that,
something to do with the mindset,
yes, sir.
not patriarchy. Why do we blame patriarchy?
Sir, it's a mindset only. Patriarchy is a mindset. Women can be suppressed.
Okay, you are from Sharda University.
Yes, sir.
It is in Noida, Greater Noida.
Yes.
Do you know something about the Sharda Act?
Yes, sir. It was related to the increase in marriageable age of girls
When was
during
it passed?
the time of I exactly don't know the year, but it was in 1820s.
After independence?
Before independence.
Before independence.
Yes, sir.
And what was the age fixed?
Sorry, sir.
What is the present age of marriage?
18 and 21.
18 and 21. You are
No,
21?
sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. 18 for girls and
21 for
boys.
boy.
So you are ready for marriage.
Sir, I'll give interview and then after that
Then you will decide.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. But there was no parliament before independence. How was this act passed? Sharda Act. Who passed it?
Sir, Indian Council was there. Governor General was the head of that
Was
council.
there a parliament also?
It acted as a parliament only.
What was the name given to it?
Indian the
Imperial Council.
Imperial Council.
Okay. How do you describe the law and order situation in Uttar Pradesh? It is a Bimaru state,
Yes.
you know it.
Sir,
And it continues to be lawless.
Sir, I think the collusion between the political class and the criminal nexus which is there, that has very much continued up to this time. So also, the new government when it came in, they thought that through encounters and immediate action against the criminals, the situation could be brought under control. But that has not reaped benefits because still the law and order situation is very bad. So steps like the political nexus which is there, that need to be broken up. Police need to be given independence in their functioning.
Your hobby is playing cricket.
Yes, sir.
IPL has started.
Yes,
From today or yesterday?
Yesterday it started.
Yesterday. Why should we attach so much of importance to such commercial sports?
Sir, it's not only about that it is a commercial. We are getting a lot of talent from IPL. Earlier, cricketers they used to come from the metro towns only, Mumbai, Delhi. Now,
When we won the World Cup in 60s or so, there was no IPL, but we won the World Cup,
yes,
and India had a very good rating.
yes, sir.
So how can you, in the garb of getting good talent we have got our own in house, Ranji Trophy and so many other places. You can try there. That was the catchment area.
So that is one thing. Like promotion of cricket is also other things. Like in football, we have so many clubs are there. Because of that, football got promoted to the next level. In
Okay.
India also through
Okay.
IPL, we are doing this.
Let us talk something about the ongoing problem, the issue. Supreme Court has advised mediation
Yes.
rather than adjudication. Don't you think it's an escape by the judiciary from this conundrum, Ayodhya issue?
Sir, on the legal lines, it is very much permissible. So
It
it is
is
not
not possible.
very much permissible, sir.
Permissible.
Mediation clauses there.
Mhm.
But I think, sir, this issue is very much related to the sentiments of people. A lot of people will get impacted because of the judgment. So, if a situation comes in where one party thinks that he has lost and one party thinks that he has won, so
Do you
in that
see any
scenario,
hope? Do you see any hope in the mediatory efforts?
yes, sir. Maybe the previous efforts have failed, but we should not lose hope. Supreme Court monitored mediation is happening, so maybe they'll be able to find solution. And if not, then adjudication way is there. We can go for it. But first, we have to find out ways where peacefully this issue can be resolved.
One last question. Uh, Jallikattu was in the news 2, 3 years back. Do you remember? It was dealt with animal rights. Do you think that the animal rights are as important as human rights?
Yes, sir. Animals they deserve certain dignity, and the kind of allegations which were there that they were given steroids and other things to boost their performance and cruelty was inflicted on them. That was not the right thing. And as we say that customs and customary morality cannot continue for a long period of time. It need to change with changes in the society. So what Supreme Court did, banning of Jallikattu was in a
Then
way.
why does the government not allow killing of cows which are unprotected? It's been banned,
Yes, sir.
particularly in Uttar Pradesh.
So,
Is it a reasonable decision?
sir, I think it is about the sentiments of people. A lot of people sentiments are attached to the cows because of that the government is not
If
allowing
the
this
cow
kind of-
dies a natural death, then what happens to it? Do we bury it or do we cremate it?
We bury it. If
We bury it. I think people eat it as a beef.
if it dies a natural death.
Yes, we are exporting so much of beef from India.
Sir, I don't think if an animal dies, then we,
Beef.
we use
I'm
it for
talking of beef.
eating purpose.
I'm talking of beef.
Yes.
It's being exported by India.
Yes, sir, but live animal
No,
is
not like
slaughtered.
when it dies, a natural death. See, they have an expiry date like
Yeah.
you and me. So cows also, which are unprotective, very old, infirm, they also have to die one day.
Yes, sir.
So that is used for eating.
So, sir, I've not heard of it that.
What happened? You see, Supreme Court banned. No, Supreme Court allowed. What was the Supreme Court stand?
On cow slaughter?
On cow slaughter, animal slaughter. Nothing, no. And what happened in the case of Jallikattu?
So Supreme Court banned it, but an ordinance was brought in by the government saying
Was
that.
it correct?
Sir, the justification which was given that if cruelty is not inflicted and if animals are treated in a proper way, then that game can be continued.
Thank you.
Junaid, geography was your option. What is the total geographical area of India?
Sorry, sir.
Total geographical area of India.
Sir, 320 million hectares.
320.
Million hectares around.
Area is very specific. Na? It cannot be. How? I mean, you can't say 320.
Sir,
The area is a proper. It is 328 million hectares. How many hectares are there in a square kilometer?
sorry, sir.
No idea? Okay, no problem. How will you define India geographically?
So one is the physical part of India, and the
Yeah.
other is the human geography, which you talk about.
I'm talking of physical part.
In the physical part, the first is the landscape,
Mhm.
which we can define. The northern mountains constitute one part. Then the plains are there.
The plains are called what?
Great Northern Plains.
Not Indo-Gangetic?
Yes, sir. Indo-Gangetic is also a name of it.
Yeah.
The third is the peninsular plateau which we have, and the fourth island territories. So in
Sorry, last-
island territories.
What about Ghats, Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats? That also you have.
So we generally include them in the peninsular
Peninsula. Okay.
plateau.
Right. Okay. So, what is this westerly disturbance? How does it occur?
Sir, westerlies are the upper tropospheric winds. They originate in the Mediterranean Sea, and they move towards the eastern side. And in winter, they bring rainfall in the northern part of India, in UP, Haryana.
How does it affect our economy?
Sir, wheat is a major crop in the Rabi season, so the rainfall is considered as good for agriculture. And
Which is the other Rabi crop in the northern part of India? One is wheat, of course, yes. Wheat is a major Rabi crop.
yes, and so mustard is also there. Mustard is grown.
And kharif crops.
Kharif, sir, rice is there. Cotton is also grown in Kharif season. Groundnut is there. These crops are major in that way.
In your hobbies, you have mentioned restaurant here.
Yes, sir.
What is that? You have been running a restaurant?
Yes, sir.
Where?
In Bijnor, sir.
In Bijnor. Okay. It's still working?
Sir, currently I'm in the service, so I have to.
Okay.
It's not mentioned there.
You are in service right now.
Yes, sir.
Which service you mentioned there?
Indian Revenue Service, sir. Sir, it's not mentioned.
That is what
When I filled the form till that time, so it was not allocated.
You should have told us in the beginning itself. Please tell the UPSC in the beginning.
Have you sent a written this intimation to UPSC?
No, sir. So there is no provision of such thing that if it is not mentioned in that, you have to.
Okay.
But at the very first opportunity, you must.
Indian Revenue
Don't hide
Service,
anything.
IT?
Customs. sir.
Custom.
Faridabad.
What was your rank?
352, sir.
But how come this thing was not allocated, whereas others they got their service allocated well in time?
Sir, you have 1 month period for filling up the DAF. I filled in the very beginning till that time.
Okay, right. And what? Okay, now who is running that restaurant?
My brother. He's taking care.
And you also mentioned reading non-fiction books.
Yes, sir.
Which books have you read recently?
Sir, recently, this Professor Kancha Elaya's book, they created a controversy, so I read.
Professor, sorry?
Professor Kancha Elaya's book, NDU created controversy.
Okay,
So I
okay.
thought of reading those books. Why I'm not a Hindu, Buffalo nationalism, and Dalit literature he has given in the perspective. So I wrote those books. And then Men's Search for Meaning. One book is there, a doctor who survived the Nazi camp, and he has written his experience.
Can you name one or two recent bestsellers from non-fiction category? World bestsellers?
21 Lessons in 21st Century, one book has come.
Have you started reading it or no?
No,
Not
sir,
yet.
not yet.
Yeah, I think you should read that. Very good book. Okay. Now, you tell me something about yourself, Junaid, which you have not mentioned in this your tab. Can you, of course, one you have mentioned about your revenue service.
Yes, sir.
Any other part of your personality which you would like us to know?
Sir, the food industry, which I'm very much attached to, is one part that I've already mentioned. Then I teach kids also during the night in my restaurant on Friday, Saturday, Sundays.
Okay. What do you teach?
Sir, basic things, Maths, English. There are migrants in that region who have come from Moradabad and other places.
You teach mathematics, general,
Simple.
English.
I tell them stories, book reading, so their interest could be there in that. So this is one thing which I like. The rest of the things, I think, sir.
And do you think that you have the requisite traits of a good civil servant?
Sir, I don't exactly know, but what I think the best areas are, as I was the captain of my college cricket team, school cricket team, so I know how to manage the team, the teamwork, how to make
Apart
that
from
work.
teamwork, what other qualities do you think you have which will make you a good civil servant?
Sir, empathy I feel is one thing which is there, because when in my restaurant also, when I feed people, that gives me happiness. When I teach kids, that also gives me happiness. That is a major trait which is required in the civil servants.
And how about integrity?
Sir, integrity, yes, it is very important, but I've not come across any situation where such thing, dilemma or such thing came in my life, so I cannot just say.
And suppose a situation arises when your integrity is put to test.
Yes, sir.
So how confident you are that you will be able to handle it and you will not compromise your integrity? How confident?
Yes, sir. Integrity, honesty, these are the basic things that people should have, and I feel that I'll stand for it.
Now, I wish, of course, you make it to IAS proper,
Yes,
but for the sake of my question, I suppose you are district superintendent of police,
yes, sir.
one of your UP district, and a Muslim woman comes and says that my husband is given me triple talaq.
Yes, sir.
What legal course is available to you as per the extant provisions?
Sir, as the Honorable Supreme Court has
Yeah.
declared it as unconstitutional, so it doesn't matter if he has given triple talaq, instant triple talaq, then it will not be held. So the provisions which I have, if he is not allowing that woman in her home, or if he is not taking care of that
That
woman.
would be, of course, the Supreme Court has made it invalid.
Yes.
That is one part.
Yes, sir.
What about any legal action? Can you take any legal action against a person? What is the legal provision? Supreme
Yes,
Court-
sir. Domestic Violence Act is there. If he is doing
Domestic violence is, suppose there is no violence, absolutely in a very, very amiable, this thing, he says, I give you triple talaq, not even a slap or absolutely no violence, then what action is available to you?
Sir,
It's absolutely peaceful. He says on telephone, but he doesn't see her.
Sir, if he is not doing any harm to the women, then uttering those words, I don't think have any meaning. Even
that-
if he says 1,000 times, doesn't matter. If he is inflicting harm, or if he is asking her to go out of the house, if he is not giving maintenance.
Giving triple talaq itself is an offense. Are you aware of an ordinance?
Yes, sir.
That ordinance, it criminalizes triple
Yes,
talaq.
yes, sir.
And under ordinance,
3 years
you can arrest a person.
Yes, sir.
Only now one small change has been made that in case the wife agrees,
Yes,
then the person can be released on bail.
yes, sir.
That is the latest situation, and the government has extended this ordinance third time.
Third, yes, sir.
So it has got all the effects of an act, all the effects.
Skipped my mind.
Okay, no problem. Right, thank you.
Junaid,
Yes, sir.
nice to see a pleasant face in the morning, and that too with a smile. I think you should keep that, maintain that. Now, you have studied in Shada University. I'm told that there are prayer rooms separate for Muslims. Is it true?
In Shada University?
Shada University.
Sir, I don't remember, because up to my time it was not there. 2013 I passed out.
Okay.
But yes, a construction was going on for a temple within the university, and they were saying that we should have provisions for other people from other religions also. They can pray at least.
They are made in that medical building.
Yes, sir.
Where the hospital is.
Yes, sir.
Upstairs, right over the canteen. Now there's a canteen there.
Yes.
So there is a prayer room for Muslims, particularly for Muslims, women and males both. Then you have a temple also there.
Yes, sir.
But Delhi University or its colleges have never made this kind of thing. Do you think this kind of a new or neo culture is valid?
Sir, I feel it's absolutely okay if we have these spaces within the institution, because it should not be there that one space for one religion should be there and not for others. Equal space should be there. And also, what we have done in our education and other things in the name of secularism, we are not telling the people about the good things of the religion. If
No,
people,
that is another. You're circumventing. I'm just asking you whether it's good, because today you have a Muslim room for Muslim prayer, temple.
yes, sir.
Tomorrow, I think you should also build a church,
Yes, sir.
a sort of a church. It's not a prayer for Christians. Then of course Jews. Then of course the regional guys.
Yes.
I'm asking you in this context.
Sir, I feel there is nothing wrong in that.
So you will have, say, 70 acres of land in which you will have about 20 acres devoted to or dedicated to prayers of different things.
No, sir, not to that much scale. That 20 acres can be devoted to that. Small place could be there where people can go. Worship is a kind of meditation only.
Now, prayer room earmarked for somebody. You try to understand.
Okay.
Prayer room is okay.
Yes.
Anybody can have a prayer room. You can go, I can go, anybody can go and sit in silence. That's what Baha'is do it. Baha'is do it. I'm talking about these particular temples and this mosque for, discriminating the people.
Okay, I understand.
Now,
Yes, I feel that separate places, what you're talking about, is the issue. That if you segregate the religious places, yes, it should not be there. A single room can be there where anyone can go and pray. Like in US, universities are there, and in UK also places are there where people from any religion can come and they can worship. That would be a better thing.
or maybe you call not a prayer room, you just call it a meditation room,
Meditation
where
room.
people go, and Muslims can go and pray. There's no harm in that. And Hindus don't pray that way. They can just sit in silence and invoke God, Anyway. This recent depiction, a picture of, Arvind Kejriwal, the CM of Delhi, is under a lot of fire. And because he tweeted a picture in which his party has shown a person running with a broom at a swastik. Swastik is basically, taken as a Hindu symbol. So this has created a furor in which Arvind Kejriwal has said this is not a swastik, it's a Nazi. Have you seen that picture?
No, sir, I've not seen that. But there is a slight difference in Nazi symbol and the swastik.
What is that?
In the way it is made.
What is it?
Sir, exactly, I cannot say, but the way it is made, there is some difference between them.
Swastik is with S,
S, yes.
right? And you do it like that. That's swastik.
Yes.
You do it opposite.
Opposite. Yes.
As a inverse it, You do it like this. This is swastik, Nazi
Nazi
symbol.
symbol.
Now that picture, which is on the net, is basically a swastik, a tilted swastik. Now, what does this indicate?
So this is wrong.
No, what does it indicate? A man with a broom running after a swastika, what does it indicate? You're an aspirant
Yes.
and you already work in the government of India.
Yes.
What does it indicate?
Sorry, sir. Not able to get it.
You have not seen that?
I've not seen that picture, so I cannot comment.
Okay, anybody chasing a swastika sign with a broom? Suppose this was you imagine it, what does it indicate?
So broom is to wipe out things. That's what broom is used for,
Sweep.
cleaning up
Cleaning.
things. So if a broom is there and some picture is there, so the message is that they want to clean up that thing. And
Swastika, which is symbol of the Hindus.
yeah, now he is saying that it is a Nazi symbol. So maybe the ideology which is there of fascism, you want to
No,
clean up.
it is not a Nazi. That's what I'm telling you. Imagine a swastika anyway. That is basically a subtle way of suggesting that you should wipe out the Hindus, the fanatics, because I want to get the votes of the Muslim, one of the communities. Is it right? Do you think this was behind the scene?
Maybe, sir, because during the election times in politics, people resort for such kind of things to get the vote.
Okay, now Bijnor, coming to your Bijnor, recently somebody's announced of a Muslim contestant instead of Indira Bhatti, who was
Yes, sir.
earlier asked to contest
Yes, sir.
because of the 40, as you say, 43% Muslim vote.
Yes, sir.
We are actually very scheming in our political calculations, right or wrong?
Yes, sir. Sir, we can say a lot of things that elections have improved, but it's a reality that caste-based and religion-based politics is very much on the
And
cards.
we are going to stick to it.
And we are going to stick to it.
Very true. Bijnor has also been demanding inclusion in the NCR. Now, why tomorrow, maybe Chandigarh also demands, maybe somebody else also demands. Why Bijnor? It's about, I think, 80 kilometers from here.
Yes, so up to Meerut, it is very much in the Delhi NCR region. So proximity is one thing because of which
So then the other fellow will also, beyond Bijnor.
it's a cycle that after Bijnor will, because the benefits which come in if they get included in Delhi NCR.
Now, you are from Bijnor, and in case if you are a civil servant, would you also internally promote this?
Sir, I think the purpose for which they are asking for that can be fulfilled without including Bijnor in Delhi.
No, my question, will you inwardly promote this?
Sir, it depends if it is the popular demand, if people are asking
No,
for
I'm
it.
asking you. Forget the popular. I'm asking Junaid, who is a civil servant. Being a Bijnorite, would you actually innerly promote this campaign?
Sir, I cannot say like I will do it or not because I need to have certain criteria parameters.
If you have all the criteria which prompt you or which says to you that it is right, you'll go in for the campaign.
If they say that it will be for the development of that region,
You'll go in for it. As a civil servant, you'll start campaigning.
No, I'll not start campaigning. But the administrative process which is there, I'll try to work through that way. That is a political thing, that campaigning.
No, you do not. I told you campaign.
Okay, sir.
And anyway, you love wearing ties?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When was it originated? How did it come to be?
So ties came in, I guess, in the 17th, 18th century in Europe.
Who is the predecessor of a tie? Tie is now what we call a necktie. How did it come to be? Oh, it was used by mercenaries, soldiers. They used to have a ribbon and they used to tie it, one or other, like a cravat, You know what is a zipper tie? Zipper tie. No. Don't worry, you need not know it. And the man who started this tie was from the royal family. He was a nobleman, Louis, Louis XIV or 15th or whatever it was. About the you are a bibliophile.
Book reading, I'll not say here I'm a bibliophile, but yes, when I get the time, then I read books.
Okay, there is a book very popular in India, written by an Indian, by a Muslim lady, mothering a Muslim. Have you heard of the book by Nazia?
No, sir.
No. Read it. Then, of course, you must be knowing about Dr. Yusuf Merchant, who has written a book, Happiness.
No, sir.
No. Read that also. He was an addict, a drug addict, and he has written a book. Okay, and now this rest. So, how do you pronounce this word which you've written?
Restaurant,
You pronounce R.
no, restaurant,
R. This particular word, how do you learn this French? Anybody who is slightly literate will be able to find out that this is a French word. What is that? Trademark of French words.
sorry, sir.
It's EUR. Anything which is in the suffix EUR, that means it's French. And just 2-3 more short questions. What is the flag song of India? We all are Indians.
Yes, sir.
We know our national anthem.
Yes, sir.
You know it.
Yes.
You know the national song.
Yes. National anthem is General Man. National song. I'm confused.
Man, you're going to be soon a civil servant. Now, what is the flag song of India? Right. What is the national food of India?
No.
Oh my God, you're.
I don't think so. There is a national food of India.
I think we have a national food, khichdi.
Actually, that was only when I checked up. National food was there is no national food declared by any authority.
Authority.
The khichdi was projected as a national food during one of the international food festivals.
Festivals here in Delhi.
But it was only for that particular event.
It's not been declared.
No authority.
So, okay, fine. It's not been declared. Would you go in for a campaign of this, or if you become a civil servant, to have a national food also?
I'll not go for it, sir. Because if you see India, 10 kilometers you travel and there is a different.
But we have a
food
national
habits.
dress.
National?
Dress.
Sorry, sir.
National dress we have.
But I think, sir, people associate themselves with these things, and in a diverse country like India, it's better to keep the regional habits in focus.
Okay, Junaid, thanks a lot.
Okay, Junaid, tell me something about your mailing address. Choose this.
Sir, actually, in my college days, my cricket team, they kept this name, the 7 players which were fixed. So I was the captain, I kept rough players.
So you retained it.
I retained them.
Players don't have to be rough.
Yes, sir. We want to have something like controlled aggression, but that was not available. So we kept this.
Okay. Now, sports is something which generates that I would say aggression or a movement or involvement also. So there is a new game these days, PUBG. Heard of it?
Yes, sir.
What is this?
Sir, it's a online game, player and underground battle game, something.
Yes, sir. Battleground.
Battleground. So the virtual violence they create in the game, shooting targets, and you have to complete the game. That's
There is a call to ban it. Why so?
sir. Multiple reasons are there. One is the violence that is being shown in the game, that is being normalized within the people, and in the real life also they are becoming indifferent to it. Second is a lot of time children are spending on these video games, so that impacts their learning levels and psychological issues also.
To have something in which you are very focused and lots of your skills are being used, I would say mental skills. It actually promotes you. Why to ban it?
So I think there need to be a balance between these things. If a person is playing for some time, that is okay. But if it becomes addictive, that is wrong. So because of that,
Then IPL is also addictive that way. You won't move if you are watching a IPL match for 3 hours. You won't move at all.
yes, sir.
So this same criteria should apply there as well.
So, but children, they are more getting affected from it at a young age when they are growing up. It is having an impact on the people's mind. So that is the issue, sir.
Okay. Now, since you are now in IRS, I asked you something about that. What's this tax GDP ratio? Why it is so important?
So currently it is in India it is 16% tax to GDP ratio, and tax is like a glue between the citizens and the government, and whatever government spends expenditure.
Or a separator? The
Sir?
moment I have to pay more tax, I tend to move away from the government.
Yes, sir. If unnecessary tax rates are there, then it becomes an issue. But if good tax rates are there,
As you said, it is around 16% or so in our country. So, how do you rate that?
sir, it is a bit low because if we compare emerging economies, the average is 20 to 23%. Even Kautilya in his Arthashastra said that it should be in the range of 20 to 25%. But we have seen that developing.
Kautilya specifies some percentage in his Arthashastra.
Yes, sir.
I heard it for the first time that he specified something in Arthashastra. What he said was something totally different.
Sir, he mentioned that how much tax need to be collected of the GDP. So
it should be
20 to
no. What he said was the tax to be collected by a king should be just like a bee comes to a flower.
Yes, sir.
And takes,
That is a code.
and if the flower doesn't feel
Yes,
that something has been taken,
Is that is a code.
25% is a big amount.
Sir,
You feel when it is taken.
20 to 25%, sir. Sir, emerging economies, and if you talk about OECDs, the tax rate is 33%.
Okay.
So,
So-
there people are paying taxes.
So according to you, there is a scope for increasing tax in India.
Yes, sir.
Tax rate.
Sir, we can improve the tax base.
Tax rate
rates-
is something different. I am talking of tax rate right now.
Tax rates are already high
As you're
in the
saying,
country.
we have 20-25% and international standard is 33%. So there is a scope for increasing the tax rate.
Sir, before that, we have to reduce corruption and provide services to the people. Then only willingly people will give the taxes. If we are not able to provide services, then tax evasion happens. So we have to work on this front before increasing the tax rates.
Heard of that Laffer's curve?
Laffer's curve.
It says that tax collection is of course zero when it is 0%. But if you increase it to 100%, again it becomes zero.
Yes, sir.
So there is a optimum point somewhere in between where it is optimum. Maximum collection can be done. And it happens to be low. And it also actually advocates that we should lower the tax rates to have more of tax collections. So any instances in our country where we saw actually this thing applying?
Sir, in the recent budget also, we provided rebate up to 5 lakh of income who were earning. So that is one thing we reduced to.
Will it increase tax collection? It is actually taking a huge chunk of people out of the tax base.
Yes.
So do you think it will increase our tax collection? And not many people who were paying tax will not be paying tax now.
Sir, I think people will come into the fold as they'll see, because in ITR they can show that zero takes they have paid, and also the disposable income when it increases, then also the GDP increases in the country, and indirectly it helps in the collection of taxes. And in GST also we have seen that for MSMEs, government has reduced from 30% to 25%. So when they will get avenues to invest more, ultimately it will create a cycle where the tax collection will further increase.
So consumption will increase.
Yes, sir, consumption.
It will increase our production. Very good. Are you aware what has been the highest tax rate in India after independence?
Sir, exactly I don't know, but I have heard that during 1970s it was to the tune of 70-80%.
It was to 97.9%.
Yes, sir.
And that gave rise to all this tax money that we have today. Actually, a reduction improves that tax collection. Sometimes it improves. It's okay. Thank you.
Junaid, your formal mock interview is over. So we now come to the briefing session. We would like to share our experiences with you. See, you must, as early as possible, reveal this mystery to the board that you are already a civil servant. At the very first opportunity. And if there is no opportunity, create an opportunity for yourself. So incidentally, I am saying. When you say the word incidentally, you can say anything you like. And say as early as possible. Because that will bring you, fetch more marks. Another problem is that they would, when they assess your personality as a civil servant, their threshold level will be higher. You know, you're not a first timer or second timer, you are a full-fledged civil servant. So that you should be careful. So you have to take some precautions, as all of us will tell you, and you have to be very cautious. I don't know whether we met last year, but you have to be a little cautious. When is your interview?
28th March.
28th March.
You came there last year.
And you have undergone.
Because I did not remember.
Yes. You have undergone mocks already?
No, sir.
This is first. Don't expose yourself. You don't need any mocks. Okay? Because we have seen very adverse, comments when a person, exposes himself to so many interviews. It has problems. That is number one. So you have to make your answers very crisp and very brief, precise, concise,
Yes, sir.
to the point, focused. You have a tendency to go overboard. You agree or not?
Yes, sir.
So that you should control.
Yes.
The tendency is dangerous. Confidence is okay, but overconfidence is not good. There may be little overconfidence because you are already in service, but don't show it to the board. And try to give a pause before answering a question. You never give a pause. When I ask you a question, you straight away start answering the questions. That is not correct. As a civil servant, you are supposed to think about it. Not only as a civil servant, even in the normal course. Give a pause of say 5-6 seconds. Think about the questions, revolve it in your mind, and then recall the key words that you have to use, and then give a brief answer. Don't be too verbose. That is, and when they ask you to elaborate, then you can increase the length. And do you have a tendency to speak with your head? When somebody asks you, did you do this? No, like this. Or yes. God has given you a mouth to speak. So don't make use of other vowels like hand or add or. You have a tendency to do like this. Yes.
Yes, sir.
You don't say no, sir. You just say this. Please. When you see the video recording, I think you will realize it. And do not show up any sense of informality. I saw. Again, it has a bearing on the overconfidence. Please don't show it up. No informality, it is serious. You have already faced the board, so nothing to worry. Your nervousness is not there. You're a very cool-headed person. Confidence level is very high. But the only thing is that no informality with the board. You should be as formal as you were last year. And do not feel apologetic when, supposing I ask you a question, the board asks you a question, you do not know the answers. Think about it for 3-4 seconds. Just say, sir, I'm sorry, I do not know. Don't feel apologetic. You smile, give a smile, grin, and then you say, no. Why should you feel apologetic? Your knowledge is not being tested. Your personality is being tested. Of course, knowledge base is also important, but personality is more important. How you effectively communicate, oral communication comes to the fore. That is very, very important. So do not feel apologetic if you don't know the question. In quick succession, supposing you are not able to answer 2 or 3 questions, don't feel bad about it. Don't let it keep bugging your mind. Oh my God, I forgot this. I could not reply to this. No. Don't spoil your future. In future, you be straight and then give a good answer. One good answer will make everything. Now, coming to your dress code, will you be wearing a coat, I hope?
Yes, sir.
What color coat?
Blue, sir.
Blue and light blue tied?
Yes, sir.
Plain,
Yes, sir.
not striped or not any design or anything, plain tie. And white shirt?
Yes, sir. That's good.
So they might even ask you, should we have a dress code for the civil servants? Think about it. Think about it. In certain countries, we have a dress code for civil servants. But in India, everybody can come. Of course, you should not wear jeans and all that. But people do. And one last question, they might even catch you on the increasing politicization of bureaucracy. I'm giving you a broad view.
Yes.
They may ask you, they may not ask you. But since many IAS officers serving, they are resigning and contesting.
Yes.
Shah Faisal is a topper of 2010. He resigned and now he says he is not contesting for parliament. But he says everybody to vote. He appeals to everybody that you must vote, cast your vote. So whether it is appropriate for a civil servant, that means he was political. He had a political mindset. He was politically inclined to certain party. There was Kashmir in his mind, separatist mindset. So be careful. Then another person from 2005 batch from Uttar Pradesh also resigned. You must be knowing about it. He resigned, contested on BJP ticket and lost also. So by election. छत्तीसगढ़ तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन भी आपसे पूछ सकते हैं तो बड़ा सीरियसली ऑफ कोर्स यू हैव अ वेरी प्लेजेंट पर्सनैलिटी यू कीप स्माइलिंग बट डोंट इंक्रीज डोंट लेट इट बी अ ग्रिन यू आर अ वेरी प्लेजेंट पर्सन टू टॉक टू एंड आई सी ए very good civil servant in you. You are civil servant means IAS officer in you. You are already a civil servant. So just like push. Whatever I have suggested, that's others will have their own views. So whatever we suggest, please follow it. See the video as many times as possible and follow this practice. Practice it. Okay.
Well, Junaid, I agree with Chairman sir. You have very pleasant personality, very articulating replies on your side. Only thing that you have to update your current affairs. Because apart from that, of course, there will be questions on your hobbies and your background and all that. But current affairs would be another very important area, including we didn't ask you any question on international relations, how India, Pak, Indo-China, and there will definitely be questions because they will on security, on law and order, on international relations. So these are very, I would say, invariably there are questions from this which none of us ask. So that you must be aware of the go through editorials, Hindu or Indian Express or any other good newspaper, so that you are able to develop a perspective on different current issues. Okay, and I definitely see civil servant in you, and I'm sure you will make it to the good grade, which will ensure that you are in proper IAS. Okay, all the best.
Casualness, avoid that. And entrapment, trapping you. They might do it. Like I was trying to tell you, ask about the campaign, and you fell into the bait. Confessing that you will, in case you try to avoid. Because the idea behind is how you will behave and how you will react to certain things, whether you're entrapped, whether you have the right alertness of mind, whether you can actually cope with the problem. Idea behind that is try that. Otherwise, you're good.
So, Junaid, very happy to see a young man, promising young man, and I have high hopes on you. And last time when you were interviewed, were you asked something about your subject, electronic engineering?
No, sir.
No.
Restaurant, half of the interview
Yes.
was on restaurant.
I don't expect, because you have written all those things, so it takes the attention away from that. But maybe somebody can ask you rudimentary questions like protocols and all. Nothing but beyond that, I think. And of course, normal, because now you are an IRS, so related to taxation, something might be asked. I asked you something more maybe they asked regarding taxation, law and all. Whatever is happening, these tax changes, direct tax code, things like that, they can ask. Because now you are expected to be aware of it.
Yes, sir.
That's why. Otherwise, it may not have been there.
Junaid, one point, don't take it in a stride, because I want you to do very well.
Yes, sir.
And you should be in top 20. I'll be very happy. So, and work in a half a mark is very material. Although they don't give, there is no practice to give half mark in UPSC. So even 1 mark is very, very important. You have to fight for it.
Yes, sir.
And this is the most difficult stage of your selection process. Because your competitors are all bright minds like you. They may be in service, they may not be in service, but they're all bright people who have been tested. And so एक चीज़ आप ज़रूर याद रखिए, आपका आई कॉन्टैक्ट जो है, मैं भूल गया बताना, वो मूव करना चाहिए. You were looking only at one person. Supposing he is asking a question, you are only looking at him. Please don't ignore others. उनको भी आप थोड़ा थोड़ा बीच बीच में देखते जाइए. इन्वॉल्व करिए उनको. इन्वॉल्व करना बहुत ज़रूरी है ना. They should also have a sense of participation. Yes. Otherwise they will.
Yes, sir.
So eye contact is, you have to speak with the right. Speak, जब आंसर को भी दीजिए और आई कॉन्टैक्ट भी मेंटेन करिए सबसे. और एंट्री जब आपने की थी, वो भी बताना भूल गया. You were in a hurry to, you almost placed your hand on the chair. You almost placed it, even before sitting and before our asking you.
Yes.
So best is आप एक तो सूट पहन के जाएंगे, तो एक तो उसको अपर बटन को आप बंद करके ही जाए.
Yes, sir.
कई जगह बोलते हैं कि ऐसे खोल के जाइए, that is not correct. It's a very formal occasion, उसको बंद करके जाइए. Because if you do 4-5 things at one time, you will get confused. Better ये है, I always advise people, इसको बंद करके जाइए, नीचे वाला खुला रख दीजिए. उसके बाद आप आएंगे तो shortest possible route to the chair, and then wish the chairperson. If chairperson is a male, good morning, sir. गुड मॉर्निंग सर्स, उनको भी बोलिए, और जितने मेल हैं सबको देखिए.
Yes.
Individual salutation is not done. Good morning sir, good morning sir. No, there's no. And if there is a lady member, उनको good morning sirs, good morning madam.
Separately.
If the chairperson is a lady, lone lady, which is quite possible because there are 3 ladies or 2 ladies now.
3.
So, good morning madam, and then good morning sirs. Yeah. और जल्दी मत करिएगा. Till the board, is it because that is also part of your personality. How keen you are to grab the seat.
Yes.
So आप शांति से खड़े रहिए, एकदम attention में, not at ease, attention में. And they will say, okay, you are Mr. So and so. Sometimes they will take 7-8 seconds also, just to see whether you get stressed out or not. तो उसको आप right split में लीजिए, and 6-7 सेकंड वेट कर लीजिए. If they don't ask you, then sir, may I have my seat? बस. और जाते ही आपने, what are you doing at present? Sir, I am already in service. I am IRS on the basis of the 2017 exam. अच्छा, how much was your score? ये भी पूछ सकते हैं. Which board was it? ये भी पूछ सकते हैं. तो उसको आप ध्यान में रखिए.
Yes.
और I think all the very best to you from my side. My blessings, and you will certainly make it. ध्यान रखिए.
Yes, sir.
जो हमने कहा है उसका बहुत ध्यान रखिए.
What was your score in interview last time?
190, sir.
190.
अरे, this time you should exceed 200.
So you are very good.
You are a very pleasant person.
Common mistake
Very
I
cool-headed
think is that
person.
people try to hold their hands like this or at their back. Both are wrong.
Flat.
It shouldn't. When you are standing,
Okay.
at that time you should be straight. And when you are sitting, then your hands should be in lap and try to glue them there, so that they don't move when you are talking.
और आपसे पूछ सकते हैं आप क्या क्या पढ़ रहे हैं आजकल.
Yes, sir.
अपनी ट्रेनिंग क्या क्या आपने पढ़ा अभी तक. एक कितना ट्रेनिंग हो गई आपकी?
Sir, 2 months की हुई है.
2 months. 2 months की ट्रेनिंग में ज़्यादा तो नहीं होती है, लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत जो भी है उसको याद रख लीजिए कि टैक्स कलेक्शन हमारा रिड्यूस क्यों हो रहा है.
GST के बारे में पूरा GST के बारे में पूरा
टैक्स बेस भी कम हो गया, टैक्स कलेक्शन भी कम हो रहा है. क्यों? देखो एग्जम्पशन लिमिट को बढ़ा दिया हमने, तो उससे फर्क पड़ा है. ये सब बातें आपको जाननी चाहिए. टैक्स रिफॉर्म क्या क्या करेंगे आप.
Yes.
ठीक है. ऑल द बेस्ट टू यू.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
ये अब है साहब